Hi everyone, and welcome to another video about ALBION Online. So this is basically going to be a basic tank build vid, so not really going to go too far into depth on the different stuff you can wear. It's just the absolute basic setup, so somebody who's starting tanking afresh as a fresh player can just watch this video and pretty much just basically jump straight in. Alright, so let's just get to our screen. So basically, the things that you're going to need for a tank is the Guardian helmet. You're also going to need Guardian armor, and you're also going to need Guardian boots. Okay, and probably weapons. Yeah, it's a little bit more complex, but just to keep it simple, I would recommend just a one-handed mace and also a shield. Now obviously, you know, if you've got the silver there and you want to use artifacts, you could use an artifact weapon instead, an artifact shield, or even the artifact armors instead of the guardian. But we're just keeping this basic so that somebody who's just basically starting the game can just go straight in, either buy or make some really cheap armor and start tanking immediately. So, and as for cape, obviously I've got the wrong cape on at the moment. Actually really the range DPS cape. So, but you know, we're just talking about armors, not really covering capes or bags or anything. So basically we'll look at the helmet first. So you're going to want to have your passive set to toughness. That's what I would recommend. You could go with authority, but yeah, when you're tanking, you really need to be able to survive as long as you can. So yeah, I would say go with toughness. And yeah, probably best skill would be stone skin for the D ability, because that way it'll reduces your damage received by 33.333% for 7 seconds with a 45-second cooldown. It's a pretty good long cooldown, but you know, if you're in real trouble and you just need to stay alive just that little bit longer so the healer can heal you up, there you go, you've got a skill. Okay, moving on to the Guardian armor. And also obviously Guardian armor is going to have the highest armor, and probably I would also imagine the highest maximum hit points, because it's like the full-blown tanking set. It's only the basic one, but it's not artifacts, of course, so can't expect too much out of it. It'll definitely get you started. So anyway, sorry, back to the Guardian armor. So for your R ability, if you're just solo out in the world tanking, then you probably stick with Men Wounds so that you can heal yourself up after battle. But if you're in a party, like, you know, a group of 5 to 10 people, or however big the group is, doing a dungeon or something, you're gonna probably want to go for Taunt or the Enfeeble Aura. Okay, so it's really, you can't really tell anyone what they should and shouldn't use. You just have to try different things, and different situations might call for different skills anyway, so you know, it's just a learning experience really. But they would be the Taunt and the Enfeeble Aura is what I would be looking at using. So, and then for one of the passives, you'll want Toughness again. You know, sure, you could go for the increased CC duration, but yeah, this is dungeon stuff, so you know, we're talking tanking for dungeons, not just for PvP or anything. So I would go for toughness. That'll reduce all damage taken by 4.762%. And then for your other passive, you're going to want to go with Protective Instinct. This will create an extra 300% threat generation around your area when you're near the enemy mobs and bosses and stuff, and that'll help prevent them basically chasing after all your DPS and healers. So that's definitely a very, very important must. You don't want to accidentally leave it set on Spirit Crush. Spirit Crush is something that you would be more likely to use when you're out doing solo stuff. So they'll definitely have that protective instinct on. But however, having said that, if you're in a really weird situation and you just happen to have 2 tanks for whatever reason it be, then sure, a second tank could go Spirit Crush, and that's going to apply maximum health debuffs on the enemies, which will be very, very helpful against bosses. So, but yeah, obviously you got to have at least 1 tank that's got protective instinct, otherwise your DPS and healers are just gonna get crushed. So can't actually demonstrate taunt because we're on the island and there's no enemies. So we'll just have a look at this Enfeeble Aura skill. I'll just go over the boots first. Alright, so you got your boots. Yeah, you're going to want Giant for that one. That'll let you grow into a Giant for 8 seconds. Your maximum health will be temporarily doubled for that time, and your move speed will be increased by 25%. And this is a 1 minute cooldown, so it's a long cooldown. Once again, it's one of those emergency situations, so don't just use it whenever. Okay, and yeah, then once again, yeah, go for toughness. That'll reduce your incoming damage by 2.439%. Alright, so let's have a look at these skills. Oh, yeah, we'll have a look at the weapon. So yeah, it's a bit of a tough one. Once again, it's going to depend on your situation. So, you just have to try different things, different situations until you work out what skills work best for you. So yeah, Q, I'd probably just leave it on defensive slam myself, but hey, everybody's got their own way of doing things. But the W, yeah, you could have it on interrupt, but yeah, probably look at that snare charge, I reckon, because you can actually root the creatures for 5.43 seconds once you jump into their position. So that's really good. If there's like a mob of 3 or 5 or whatever, it'll just root all those creatures and they won't be able to move. Obviously, once you've unlocked Heavy Slam, that's a pretty heavy attack, so that's also really good. And yeah, your E, you got Deep Leap, so that's you jump to a ground target location, dealing physical damage to all enemies in a 5-meter radius. The further away the target is, the more damage you deal. So if you're 14 meters or further away, you do 584 damage. Between 8 to 14, you only do about 431 damage, and if you're really close, under 8 meters, only 312 damage. So yeah, you got to time that one well. That's actually a pretty good opening one. So you could go Deep Leap, and then you could drop a snare charge on them or something, and then smash them with your Q. So anyway, down to our passives now. So Stunning Strike will give you every 5 normal attacks, your attack stuns the enemy for pretty much half a second. So oh no, hold on. Yeah, nearly half a second. And obviously once you've leveled up a bit, you'll unlock extra stuff, and you'll be able to select like Energetic, so you can restore your energy faster, or Life Leech, so that you can heal yourself. So yeah, Life Leech is a really good one. So well, they all are pretty much. That stun's really good, and so is the Life Leech. But I would have to say probably Life Leech, because yeah, whatever damage you can throw out, you're going to get 15% of that back as healing. So very important. Alright, so and obviously the shield, it just gives you defensive stats and also some threat generation stuff. So the better the shield, the better the defenses and resistances and threat generation. And certain shields also give different stuff on top of that. So alrighty, let's have a look at these skills, So we'll try the, what's it called? The Enfeeble Aura. So it'll basically just be an AoE thing around you, and it just means that all the enemies that are attacking you or also your allies, or is it just you? Let's have a look. Yep, no, all enemies inside that aura will do 60% less damage for that 7 seconds, is it? 5 seconds. Okay. And they'll also be slowed by 15%. So, and it also reveals any invisible enemies. So that's actually not too bad a one for PvP as well. But anyway, we're not discussing PvP this time. Alright, and then you get your deep leap. So I'm not too sure if this is even going to work. Oh yeah, it does. So it basically shows you your radius that you can travel maximum. So if I went over there, I'd be doing the maximum damage. Obviously, if I was closer, it'd be pretty crappy. So, and obviously I got no target, so I can't use that. And that's your snare, so everything in that area would have been snared. And then we can show off the growing to a giant. No, wrong one, sorry, that's the shields. So that's the ability with the shields around you is Stone Skin, and that will reduce damage received by 33.33% for 7 seconds. And then you can, if you're in a bit of trouble and you've got 1 bar of health left or something, you just push F and you can become a giant. And see up here, you got 4,405 health now. That's only on a tier 4 piece, so it's pretty good. And then you shrink down again. Bugger, eh? Right, so that's pretty much it. The only other word of advice is, yeah, for a tank, yeah, you got to move around a lot. So if you're the sort of person that doesn't like to run around in circles around all the bosses or whatever, then tanking might not be for you. It's not the sort of thing where you can just stand in one position and hack away at the enemy. You can for solo sort of stuff, I guess, depending on what you're fighting. But yeah, in dungeons, you're pretty much going to be, pretend that Ox is a boss or something, you're pretty much going to be running around and just dodging any enemy spells that come out and just hacking everything you can at them. So, and trying to stay alive. Alright. Well, if anyone's got any questions or would like to just give any comment about the video, there's a section down below where you can put a comment. I hope this helps new people that are wanting to tank. Obviously, it's a little bit hard. I'm not going to go out there, and I'm only like tier 4, I think, in tank stuff, so it'd probably be pretty hard to even try and do a solo dungeon. So once the stuff's leveled up, it might be alright. Alright. Hope you found the video to be useful, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.